Hello everyone, welcome to my Flosstube channel. My name is Jessie Lee and I'm coming at you with video number 10. Right off the bat, I need to warn anybody watching who is afraid of reptiles that I have my bearded dragon here with me, and if you don't want to look at her, please skip ahead to this timestamp right here because she is about to make an appearance. All right? Give a couple seconds for everyone who doesn't want to see the lizard to click away. All right, here she is. This is Calcifer, my beardie, and she is in the middle of some lizard playtime, but I really needed to get this video done. So I figured the best way for me to keep track of her is to just hold her for a while. So I hope you don't mind me hanging out with her while I am talking in this video. Anyway, whoop, there you go, squirmy baby. I, first of all, want to say welcome to all the newcomers who have subscribed to my channel recently. I have gotten a handful of new subscribers, and it is so exciting. And I believe the majority of you made your way here because I received very kind shout outs from Kaylee CrossStitch and Stitch Against Sam. So thank you so much to those two ladies for giving me such kind words and talking about me on your channel. That really meant a lot. And thank you to all you new subscribers for joining me here on my channel. And of course, to all my subscribers who have been here a while, I love you. I've noticed that I am really close to 300 subscribers. I have never on my channel asked for people to click the subscribe button because I'm just here to be my genuine self and share about my cross-stitch projects, and I feel happy to have any number of people vibe with me enough to continue watching my stuff. But 300 would be a really cool milestone, and I think it would be fun to celebrate it with a giveaway. So this time, I guess I am asking anyone watching this video who could help me get there to please help. I would really appreciate it. I'd just like to very quickly reintroduce myself for any newcomers or any subscribers who just haven't been able to keep up with every single one of my videos. I totally understand how that is. My name is Justine and my nickname is Jessie Lee. You could call me either one. It was my grandma who always called me Jessie Lee, and she was like a mother to me, and she did incredible needlework of all sorts. So sometimes I bring up memories of her when I am talking about my own cross-stitch here on my channel. I am a self-taught cross-stitcher. I've been dabbling in cross-stitch since I was a kid, but I've only been really deep into the craft for about a year and a half now. And I live in Minnesota, United States with my husband, Tim, our 7-year-old son, Glenn, our almost 6-year-old daughter, Sylvia, and 3 cats, 2 toads, a fish, and a bearded dragon. Once again, my beardie's name is Calcifer. That back there is Sabrina. She is in the background of most of my videos, but I just happen to have Calcifer here today because she's feeling out of sorts. She has been trying to shed her skin, and she's just been really uncomfortable and not herself. During the daytime, she just wants to hide in the back corner of her lizard mansion, but at nighttime, when she would usually be asleep in that back corner, all she wants to do is come out to explore and have attention. It's very strange. She's just off her normal schedule. So she was scratching the glass so much and being a nuisance when I was trying to record this video that I decided to just bring her out to sit with me, and I hope eventually she will relax. She seems to be getting there. She might be getting ready to go to sleep, so I'll hopefully be able to put her down when it's time to bring out all the cross-stitch. But anyway, that's why Calcifer is here today, and she's mighty cute. It's kind of fun to have a change and have her join me in one of my videos. I have been empathizing with Calcifer not feeling like herself because a couple days ago I got a haircut, and you guys, it turned out really bad. I'm not angry at the hairdresser because everyone makes mistakes, but this is way shorter than I wanted it to be, and the layers in the back look really rough. The only way I'm comfortable wearing my hair is with the front pulled back like this because it keeps this unflattering length from framing my face in an awkward way, and also having the front part of my hair pulled over the back somewhat disguises the choppiness going on back there, but it's just not practical for me to have to sit down every day and do my hair the exact same way all the time. That's just no fun. I'm really disappointed because this is only the second haircut I've had since I started growing my hair out from a buzz cut over a year ago. Um, I managed to grow my hair out to just past my shoulders, and then I finally went in and got my hair cut into a really cute bob that made me feel so cute and good about myself. It was the first time that I hadn't had awkward hair in like a year and a half. And then I came in for a trim this last time and it just turned out just icky. And I just feel so disappointed. I would have loved to have enjoyed my hair for a bit longer. So now I've got a choice to make. I can either live with my hair like this for a few months until it grows out again, or I can try and get it fixed by having it cut even shorter. I don't like either choice. I'm considering having my hair cut into a pixie cut because I do think I looked the absolute cutest with my hair at pixie length, but I don't know, I had my hair cut so short for years and years that I really sort of wanted to have the experience of long hair for a while, but maybe pixie will be the answer for this problem. I don't know. I guess in my next video, you guys will probably see what I end up deciding. Calcifer here has been sitting very still on my shoulder for a while now, so I think she may finally be ready to go to bed. So I'm going to say goodnight to her. Good night. All right, well, Sabrina and I are back now, and I guess in honor of Calcifer's visit, my question of the week for all of you watching is, what pets do you have? I absolutely adore animals, and my love of animals is just a huge part of who I am as a person, and I absolutely love hearing about other people's pets. So I am really super excited to read all of your comments. Okay, now let me talk about stitching business. I'm going to scoot over here because I will put in a picture of the 4 FFOs that I got done for my kids' teachers. These were handmade cross-stitch cards that I gave to the teachers, and I really regret that the picture I have here is so cruddy because I took it in the wee hours of the morning before my kids' last day of school, which was the deadline for giving these away. So anyway, I will talk about how I made these really quick. Basically, I just made a sandwich of the cross-stitch piece between pieces of cardstock. I folded a plain piece of cardstock into the correct size card, and then I cut my serged edges off of each of my cross stitches just to reduce the bulk of them and glued them down onto the cardstock cards that I'd folded. And then on top of the cross stitch, I glued down some patterned cardstock frames that I had cut out. And the 3 frames you see that have circle cutouts from them, I made with this tool here. This is a rotary circle cutter. You can see the little rotary blade right there. This is by Olfa, and it works really great. This is the best tool out there for cutting circles from paper or fabric of pretty much any kind. It does take some practice to use and have it turn out nice, but it's just really the sharpest and most effective and most accurate and least frustrating thing that I found. So if you don't have this tool and you need to cut out circles, I would go for this one for sure. I totally recommend it. Once my cross-stitch cardstock sandwiches were complete, I pressed them under some heavy books until the glue was thoroughly dry. And when I took them out, they were flat as could be, and I embellished them just a bit with some cute ribbon bows and some die-cut burlap flowers that I had. The cards overall were pretty simple because I am just not much of a paper crafter, you guys. If I was, they would not have taken me so long to make. But I was able to also make some custom envelopes for them to fit into as well. And that was also a process. But all of it was the least I could do for my kids' teachers because they gave my children such an incredible year at kindergarten in spite of the insane challenges of 2020. Once I gave the teachers their thank you cards, I decided I would sneak in a little sewing project. To get those thank yous done, I had been cross-stitching like it was my job, and I just needed a break from it. So I did a bit of sewing instead, and I made this. This was going to be a table topper for an end table that I have here in my craft room, but I didn't finish it because sewing this did not go very well. Or it wasn't really the sewing that didn't go well, it was the cutting. If you can see here, the center hexagon, the seams of it do not align very well, and it is overall way too small. It's not proportional to the stripes in the rest of this piece. And that is because when I cut out the equilateral triangles for this, I used this ruler. This ruler was part of a Christmas present. It is just some off-brand from Amazon, and it came in a bundle with a matching cutting mat and rotary cutter. And I specifically asked for this bundle because I really needed a new rotary cutter and cutting mat, and the blue color that they all came in was pretty cute. So the mat and the cutter work great. And I was excited to use this ruler too. I have an old OmniGrid ruler that works perfectly fine still, but I was excited to use my shiny new one. So I used the 60-degree angle here to cut out what should have been equilateral triangles to form my hexagon. But once my triangles were all cut, they did not line up whatsoever. It turns out that the angles on this ruler are completely inaccurate. They're totally skewed. Let me show you, if I can, how they compare to my old OmniGrid. Here I'm aligning the 60-degree angle lines on here. Hold that up as best as I can. And if this blue ruler was accurate, the edge of it should align perfectly with the green OmniGrid ruler. But as you can see, as it goes along, that gap gets wider and wider because that angle is so wrong. When I discovered that my triangles were all wrong, I was so angry at the ruler and also freaked out because this fabric and this fabric are from a discontinued Riley Blake collection that's pretty scarce to get your hands on. And I did not have enough scrap of this kitty fabric to start this project over. I had fussy cut out the strips so the kitties would be right in the center, and my leftovers were just not enough to start a whole new project. So I ended up taking my old OmniGrid ruler to these triangles that I already cut out and then trimming them down to the correct angle. And then what ended up happening was these bottom corners got chipped off a bit. So when I sewed them all together, that middle seam in there, the points just do not line up quite right. And just the proportion of that center is just off and looks so funny. And I'm so disappointed you don't see as much as you should of this really beautiful garden cat fabric. So because I'm a perfectionist, this just ate at me and I didn't want to finish this project. And I went back online and luckily, thank goodness, I was able to sniff out more of this cat fabric. I ordered it. It arrived yesterday, so I can try this project again, and this time I will definitely stick with Grandpa. Anyway, after my little sewing fiasco, I felt pretty motivated to get back to cross-stitch. So I picked up my Birthstone Girls. My Birthstone Girls project is based on these charts here by Sodastitch. They are mighty cute, Birthstones 1 and Birthstones 2. And what I have done is take various parts of these girls and Frankenstein them together to create 4 new Birthstone girls that best resemble my grandma, my mom, myself, and my daughter. And I made up my own chart. It looks like this. Here's all of us together. And I am stitching up each lady in the month of her birth. In April, I worked on my mom. If you'd like to see how she turned out, you can go to my Mother's Day video. The finish of my mom is right in the thumbnail, so you can't miss it. And then this month, June, is my daughter's birthday month. So I'm going to be stitching up my daughter. I spent quite a bit of my crafting time this past week just coloring in her entire pattern. The Frankenstein job I did here deviates a lot from the original pattern. Her head and her pearl are completely flipped horizontally, so I just chose to color her all the way in right on the pattern instead of trying to do that flip in my head as I was stitching. On my mom, I didn't have to color so much because it was really just her dress and her hair that needed some bits edited from the original pattern. The rest of the time I was stitching, I was just looking at the various parts on the original chart, and that went pretty well, but my daughter needed a little extra TLC on her chart before I felt comfortable stitching. But when I did get to stitching, it's been going really smoothly, and I'm happy with how she's looking. She is a little creepy right now, though, because she's got no noggin. This looks like something from Halloween, I think. Headless horse girl. But her legs, arm, dress are done. These colors for her dress, her favorite color is purple, and I chose shades that aren't in any of the charts, and I think they're looking pretty good. And then the beginning of her pearl is pretty shiny and pretty. I'm glad the circle turned out just fine. So that's how this is going. I'm stitching this on 25 count opalescent Lugana. It's very pretty. I thought the sparkles were appropriate to go with all of their shining birthstones. And that's what I got done. And as always, I've been working on my Temperature Garden by Sarah Hughs, the Stitchin Mommy, done in all my own colors. Actually, I shouldn't say always, because the last time I showed it was the first time I'd actually fallen a little bit behind. I was missing this flower right here, but I got it put in, and the other two flowers so far for June. And as you can see by the color change here, we've had quite a heat wave. This chartreuse color on a few petals you see here is actually the hottest color in my scale. And I was nervous about how yellow flowers would look against the white, but they are visible. I don't think they're too washed out, and they will look just fine, although I do kind of hope that the temperatures will go down a bit, so July and August are not solid yellow as well. Although, if I do end up with a ton of yellow in July and August, that'll be okay, I think. At least visually. It won't be comfortable to suffer through a really hot summer, but there's just something about how the visual of the temperature is clustered into the flowers that I feel like the piece won't look too annoying if I do end up with a whole lot of one color family. It's hard for me to explain, but I just feel like I'll enjoy this piece still more, even if there is a lot of yellow right in the middle, more than I kind of enjoy how my temperature tree turned out from 2020. We had a really hot summer, and it made this big chunk of my tree turn out red. And for some reason, it just bothers me to look at it a little bit. And I think it's because each day is spread out along the entire branch of the tree that represents each month. So when you look at the entire piece, you just see how it ended up a lot of one color, and it just changes the look of the tree because it's just like one organism where each flower bed is sort of its own thing. So I think that compartmentalization just sort of solves the problem of perhaps having a lot of one color if you end up with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my butt. But I am just overall having a different experience with the Temperature Garden this year, and I'm enjoying it. It's really interesting how these projects come together, and you really can't predict what the colors will be, and the finished project is just the way the cookie crumbles, and you just enjoy it and feel grateful that you made it through the year. So I'm just going to continue on my Temperature Garden as I have been, and I will show it to you again next time. Well, that's all I have to share with you today. I'm sorry that there wasn't a whole lot of stitching to show in this video. It's mostly because I was sewing, and also because I put up my previous video late, so there was just less time between videos for me to work on stuff. But I promise my next video will be better, especially if I make it to 300 subscribers and am able to celebrate with that giveaway. I'm also sorry because I just feel like I have a little less mojo in this video. My voice is still recovering from a cold I had a while ago. I'm also just a bit tired, so And I'm worried about Calcifer. She really needs to shed off that icky dead skin and feel better. Anyway, before I go, I just want to share with you the motto of my grandma, who inspired me both in stitching and in life. God loves you and I love you. Happy stitching. Bye-bye.